I'm Dr. Steele, and I'm a test prep expert with Study.com. The General Science section of the ASVAB covers basic knowledge of life science, earth science, and physical science concepts. Problems in this video will focus specifically on your earth science knowledge. This section does not impact your AFQT score, but it is important for test takers looking to pursue maintenance, technical, and electronic-related career paths. All right, let's do this. The first problem asks, what geological process is primarily responsible for the formation of mountains? A, erosion, B, volcanic activity, C, plate tectonics, or D, sedimentation. Let's look at the choices. Erosion. Erosion is what we think of when landforms are worn down by flowing water or wind. One of the best examples of this is the Grand Canyon, which was formed primarily through water erosion from the Colorado River. It's true that the soil and rock are transported somewhere, but erosion doesn't create mountains, so this is not the correct answer. How about volcanic activity? This is an interesting option because active volcanoes do form some mountains. They can form volcanic cones and islands, but the key reason this option is incorrect is because the question includes the word primarily. We're looking for the main process responsible for mountain formations, and most mountains are not formed by volcanic activity. Plate tectonics. This is the movement and collision of tectonic plates in the Earth's lithosphere. When two plates collide, they can push land upward and lead to the formation of mountains. The Alps, Andes, and Himalayas were all formed in this way. This is probably the right answer, but let's look at the final option before we decide. Sedimentation. This is the process of settling and depositing sediment. The soil and rock that gets removed from erosion is what we mean by sediment, and where sediment eventually winds up over time is sedimentation. These can result in landforms, but those types of landforms that get created do not include mountains. Sedimentation is not correct. That brings us back to plate tectonics. The movement of tectonic plates is the process that is primarily responsible for the formation of mountains. C, plate tectonics, is the correct answer. The next problem asks, which planet in our solar system is known for having a prominent ring system? Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, or Venus? This question assumes that we know what a ring system is, or at least what it looks like, so we better make sure we do. A ring system is made up of particles like rock, ice, and dust that orbit a planet at its equator. These rings appear to be very flat and resemble a disk. There's only one planet in our solar system that is always shown with these types of rings, and that's what we're looking for here. Let's look at the options. Jupiter. Jupiter technically does have a ring system, but it is very faint, and it's rare that those are included in images or drawings of the planet. We don't consider them to be prominent, so Jupiter is incorrect. How about Saturn? Saturn has a bright and impressive ring system. It's known for this because the rings are so prominent, so Saturn is the correct answer. Let's see why the other answers are incorrect. Mars. Mars has a couple of moons, but no rings, so Mars is incorrect. Venus. Venus is the hottest of all the planets, but it does not have a ring system, so Venus is incorrect. Saturn's rings are legendary and prominent, which is why the correct answer is B, Saturn. Our next problem asks, which element is the most abundant in the Earth's atmosphere? A, oxygen, B, nitrogen, C, carbon dioxide, or D, hydrogen. Our first option is A, oxygen. Oxygen sounds reasonable because we know how important it is, but it actually makes up only about 21% of the Earth's atmosphere, which makes it the second most abundant element in the atmosphere. So oxygen is not the answer we're looking for. How about B, nitrogen? Nitrogen is a relatively inert gas, but it makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere, which is a lot more than any other element. Nitrogen is the correct answer. Let's see why the others are incorrect. C, carbon dioxide. The first thing that jumps out is that the question is asking for an element, and carbon dioxide is a chemical compound made of the elements carbon and oxygen, but carbon dioxide itself is not an element. Putting that aside, carbon dioxide, or CO2, comprises only of about 0.04% of the atmosphere, making it far less abundant than nitrogen. Obviously, CO2 is incorrect. And finally, hydrogen. This is the lightest element, and it is present in the atmosphere, but in very small amounts. So hydrogen is incorrect. No other element comes close to nitrogen in terms of abundance in the atmosphere. So the correct answer is B, nitrogen. The final problem asks, which term describes the line that separates the Earth into the northern and southern hemispheres? A, prime meridian, B, equator, C, Tropic of Cancer, or D, international dateline. This is really just a definition question. If you imagine a typical globe with the North Pole at the top and the South Pole at the bottom, we want the horizontal line that divides the globe in half. Horizontal lines on a globe in this position are called latitudinal, and vertical lines are longitudinal. So let's look at the first option here, prime meridian. The prime meridian is an imaginary line that divides the Earth into the eastern and western hemispheres. It's located at 0 degrees longitude. This is a vertical line, so it can't divide the northern and southern hemispheres. Prime meridian is incorrect. How about the equator? This is an imaginary line that encircles the Earth at 0 degrees latitude, so we have our horizontal line. It is equidistant from the north and south poles, so boom, it divides the Earth into the northern and southern hemispheres. The equator is the correct answer. Let's see why the other answers are incorrect. Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer is a latitudinal line that is parallel to the equator, but it lies about 23.5 degrees north of it. So it can't be the line that separates the northern and southern hemispheres. The Tropic of Cancer is incorrect. Finally, the international dateline. The international dateline is an imaginary longitudinal line in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that runs from the North to the South Pole and demarcates the change of one calendar day to the next. This is necessary for time zones, but it doesn't divide the northern and southern hemispheres. The international dateline is incorrect. The equator separates the Earth into the northern and southern hemispheres, so that is the correct answer. That is Earth Science. Check out the other videos in this series if you need more help getting ready for the ASVAB test. Give us a thumbs up if you're feeling more prepared. Leave us a comment with any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, and make sure you subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.